It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily. With positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. I'm your host, Renee, and I'm so excited to bring you this week's guest. We've got a great guest coming your way, a talent, a queen, an inspirational artist on the rise that is doing some big things. So as always, I'm glad that you're tuned into another episode of Beyond the Headlines because we like to bring you the latest, greatest stories, updates across sports, music, entertainment. So if you have not already, be sure to follow my pages and also the show's pages so you can keep up with all the great things that we've got going on. So like I said, it is an artist spotlight this week because we've got Baha Banks, who's been doing some big things in the music industry as she's been performing in some of the largest music concerts. She just dropped her EP this summer and has worked with artists like Chance the Rapper. So Chicago's own queen, Baha Banks, will be joining us as we get into this week's Artist Spotlight. I hope you're ready.
What's up? It's Microphone Rocky, and here's our host, Renee Washington, with the Artist Spotlight.
So Queen of Chicago, what a time to be repping Chicago. The Chicago Sky just came off the WNBA championship. Chance the Rapper, who you've worked with, and Chicago as a whole is putting the city on the map. And I'm so happy to have you here joining us. Baha Banks, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, Renee, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for mentioning those accomplishments, girl. I really love that introduction.
Well, it's all you. You're just making my job a lot easier because you've got a lot of great things I can promote. And I didn't even get into the majority of it. But before we start diving into your music and letting people know all the great things you've been working on, what have you been up to? What's new? How's your fall and the end of October coming along?
It's been super busy. I have a daughter, so I'm always super busy with her. I've been churning out a lot more music because I'm coming off of, the EP, but I'm ready to drop more music. Like, I'm excited. Like, I don't know. I think this just really pushed me to be out there more. And I've been creating, and I'm ready to let you guys hear it.
Yes. Well, before we actually talk about your music, there's something I have to say because I just switched my hair color back to dark for the fall. And your hair color is the color, because I was a lighter blonde. And I was like, dang, do I go more reddish? Do I go more dark brown? So to have a real queen female moment, I was literally looking at that color and you are rocking it. And I'm like, dang, maybe I should have
Thank you. I told myself I'm going to wear red hair for a couple months because I used to wear my hair red all the time. And I don't know why, I missed it so much and it's fall. It's it's the time.
I always say with the change of a season, you got to mix it up. Got to mix up the looks. Got to keep it fresh. Got to always keep people on their toes. And that starts with even your hair and your look. So, yes. But as you mentioned, you are doing a lot of big things. Now, I want to look back at this past summer. It was a big one for you. You were able to release your first EP, and you also were able to perform in a major concert that was taking place in Chicago, the Summer Smash, I believe it was, that you were part of.
Yes.
And so looking back on this summer, talk to us about the excitement of really seeing your career take off.
I think it's kind of unbelievable to me because I never was gonna do music. I was gonna be a dentist. So for this watching this happening just from doing one song is just crazy. It's amazing.
Wait. You're ever going to be a dentist? What?
Yes.
What changed?
I went to school, yes. I don't, my friends pressured me into doing one song, literally. I did the Casanova challenge and I posted it and I just got such a good response. And literally that's what started it.
Okay. None of that was included, and I haven't read that anywhere in a bio, on your Instagram, nothing. That is Phenomenal. So how long ago was this? Because I feel like it wasn't that long ago when you talk about the
It
Casino
was like
Challenge.
a year and a half ago.
Okay. So the pandemic hit. Most people's careers went like tanking, and you pivoted and are now flourishing out of the pandemic and had
Yes,
a whole career change. Holy smokes.
100%.
Okay, queen. Now that's a boss move right there. That's a boss move right there.
This has been a really good pandemic for me, I guess.
2020 was a year most people would like to forget. And I feel like for you, 2020 is a year that you will never forget for all the right reasons. Just being able to completely change direction. So that probably was not an easy transition for you. Like, where were you in dentistry, I think is the proper term? Where were you in your pursuit of being a dentist and to make that transition? Take us through it, because I need more.
So I literally just graduated from college last December, and I have 2 degrees. I would like to tell you I got 2 degrees. I know I'm putting up 4, but y'all, 2 degrees. Okay. Biology is one of my degrees, and the other is sustainability, because I wanted to be a surgical dentist so bad. Like, my grandfather is a dentist, and so I grew up around it, and he would always buy me like the Play-Doh kits where it was like the dental mouth, because he's like, I'm gonna get her into it. And he finally got me into it, and I don't know, it's just like the music, it came out of nowhere. And well, I'm not even gonna lie, it didn't come out of nowhere. I kind of used to always play music. I used to play the alto sax and the piano, and I used to sing in the choir. So I kind of like always had this love for it, but I'm a practical person. So I'm like, I need to be a dentist. And I guess this freestyle just re-sparked the flame that was already there.
Okay. So what I love about all this is, first of all, the family influence of encouraging you to even go that route into being a dentist, which was my next question of where did this come from and what sparked that interest, but you answered it. But also, like you said, you had options. You know, I think that one of the greatest things I took from all this is there's such a stereotype, especially for Black artists, but for artists, rappers, musicians in general, that like music was your only option. But as you're stressing, you have 2 degrees. You had options. You were following in your family footsteps of what your grandfather was influencing you. And you made that decision based on your own interest, not because you had to get out of your circumstances or anything like that, but because you wanted to. So I love that even you're breaking stereotypes and changing the game in that sense of being an educated, I've got 2 degrees too, so hey.
Go girl. Okay.
Being an educated professional that is more than just a rapper. You know, you can, if you want to, hey, you can go back and be a dentist or whatever other path you want to take. But, you know, also the other part about that is being able to chase your dreams. You know, as you talk about, music has always been a part of your life, whether it's playing instruments, whatever it was, as you grew up. So what really was it for you that helped you make that decision? Because I think it's hard for a lot of people. I know it's hard for a lot of people, myself included. I had to do this, to take that leap of faith, to go from a secure role in being a dentist and chasing that and studying that, to say, you know what, I've got something here and I'm going to go after it. What helped you really take that leap of faith?
Honestly, my entire life, my grandfather has always told me, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So I had to choose what I loved.
That's hard. And as you mentioned, you're a mom and you have a youngin. So not only was this decision on you, but it's also on you as a parent to make a long-term decision, which doesn't make it any easier, I'm sure.
Yeah, not at all. And I feel like that is what really pushes me to work so hard, because like I know that I have someone that I have to support. So I can't half-ass anything. Like I have to come full speed.
Yes. No, absolutely. You have to make sure that everything you're doing matches up and lines up, because this can't be a like short little passion project that you end up bailing and dropping and doing something completely different and uprooting your life. You've got others to worry about in your child. So I respect that. And I honestly am so glad that we got into that, because again, like I had no idea. And everything I read about you, there was nothing listed about you originally wanting to be a dentist and making that career change.
Yes. Oh my God. I wanted to be a surgical dentist so bad, and I wanted to develop sustainable property. So that's why I got the degree in sustainability, because I was just like, let me do both. I need to keep the world green for my daughter.
And you still can. Who knows? You might be the queen of Chicago that also is out here changing the world in other ways.
Well, 100%. I'm still going to do it.
Oh,
sustainable properties coming soon. Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. We are like 3 minutes in. Well, not 3, but we're only a few minutes in, and you are already dropping a lot of gems, a lot of really good insight about what you are doing. But speaking to a bigger, just inspiring story of, as a parent, as an ambitious person, as a boss, as a queen, to chase all your dreams. You know, it doesn't have to be either or. As you said, maybe right now you are pouring more into music, but then knowing that you might get back, might tap into that a little bit later. So let's talk about your summer of 2021. So this is it. You've only been a year at this point, like a year and a half in, not even. And here you are performing alongside some big names and ASAP Rocky and a lot of different artists at the Lyrical Lemonade Summer Smash. Tell us about that experience of going from chasing being a dentist to now performing on stage with some of the biggest names in music.
You guys, it feels insane. And I know, like, you know, for some of the artists, this probably like wasn't a big deal to them. But I'm like, oh my God, because it feels amazing. Like, I feel like when I'm on the stage, I'm like a different person. So I really get to express myself. I really I don't even know what to say. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Berto for even booking me and taking the chance. I feel like initially I didn't really feel the support of Chicago because, you know, Chicago's a hard city, especially for artists and female artists. So I feel like I really got that support from everyone. That week I was in the Chicago Tribune. I was in the Chicago Sun-Times. I was really feeling the love from my city.
Well, again, it's been a good, successful string of months, I feel like, for Chicago. Like, I'm gonna hope that you're a WNBA
right
fan.
Now.
Yes, Chicago, Sky City is really on top of the world right now.
Especially the women.
Yes. That is the biggest part that I actually was going to ask you about next is, you know, right now, in all seriousness, women in Chicago are literally balling out. And here you are just in the mix of that too, like taking your game to the next level. How hard is it, as you mentioned, for a woman in Chicago? What is that struggle like? I know nothing about that. I'm here in Jersey. I'm in a whole different industry. I don't know, but I can only imagine what the rap game is like as a female artist coming up in Chicago with big names like Chance the Rapper and just all that's going on and come out of that city in general, I should say.
It's crazy. I don't want to say it's terrible, but like, we as women out here that are in the industry, and not just female rappers, but like the singers, like it's really hard for us because labels will come here and they'll be like, oh, we'll take 7 guys, but only 1 girl. And in turn, that pits us against each other. So then there's so much competition. And like in other states, the women there, they like can assimilate. They, you know, make music together a lot more often. And Chicago is a lot of cattiness and you're in competition with your friend. Like, it's crazy. Like, men get a lot more attention here. And if you ask me, a lot of the women in the city can wrap circles around these guys. No disrespect, but they can mumble on the track and they'll still get more attention than us. Like, it's crazy. And it's a lot of female artists in the city. I just happen to be blessed by my brother Chance. Shout out to Chance the Rapper with this feature, and it kind of like, you know, catapulted me out of there. But there are a lot of women that are underground here that a lot of people have never heard of, and they deserve their shot too.
You know, I wish I could say I'm surprised because I definitely see all of that as a woman in sports. You know, it's right now, this has been a year for women, and definitely being able to understand that we don't have to go against each other. You know, like you're saying, like in Chicago, there's not as many. So you find yourself naturally like having to compete against each other for a seat at the table. Meanwhile, they're taking 7 men that maybe are less qualified or whatever. But this is a time where women are putting their names on the map. And you talk about Chance the Rapper and your relationship with him and helping you get that foot in the door. That is something that I always say is so important for anybody that's in a marginalized, in the minority, is you need someone on the other side that's going to help pull you along. So I have to imagine that Chance the Rapper, who obviously in general is a big name, but has been so influential in your career. You know, can you talk to us a little bit about that mentorship and relationship and brotherhood, as you talk about, like he's like family, I'm sure.
Yes.
Him being able to help you along in the industry.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know, like we actually went to high school together. So it wasn't like I just met him. We did go to high school together. So the relationship had already been there. And then he just happened to be friends with my daughter's father. So it's like we're always around each other. And this was way before I ever started doing music. So the relationship is just crazy. Like, it's my brother. Like, so even recording with him, I never asked for the feature at all. Literally, I was in the studio recording one of our friends' studios. I was at RCM. Shout out to Peter Cottontail. And literally, he came in the back and he was just like, let me hear something. And I played one song. I played Cuvée, which is actually on Big Bank. It's on my EP. And he was going to get on that song. And Kirsten was there. And so I started to play Shake That Ass. But I was like, don't listen to this. This is for the ladies. Because at the time, I was doing bottle service in the club. So I had a lot of friends that were dancers. And so I would just like to make music for them to dance to and to turn up to. And he heard it and he's like, nah, this is the one. This is the one right here. Let me get on this. And it was a completely different type of song. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm so grateful that he like extended offer, because there are a lot of like artists that they get on and they leave and they don't like extend their hand out to the struggling new artists that are still in the city, because once again, there's all that competition. So it's just amazing. Like, he really pushes me like with music. He was like, how did you get so raw so fast? So like to hear that from like someone on that level, like you're like, damn, maybe I'm really doing my thing. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I talk like this. My friends always are like, I could tell you write your music because it's how you talk. Like, it's things I would say. I'm me.
Yes. So it's funny because he knew you back when you were aspiring dentist.
Yes.
Trying to figure it out. Like way before music.
100%.
And that's great because, as you talk about, it's authentic. You know, it's not like you were, just trying to figure out how to come up in the music industry and we're like, oh, let me try to see if I can get help from Chance. No, you knew him. You already had that relationship with him. Like you said, he was close with your daughter's father. You went to high school with him. So the relationship was already there and it was authentic. And that's something I'm actually getting from a lot of what you're saying, is everything that so far you've been sharing has been authentic. Even the fact that you're writing your own music in your own voice. I do feel like a lot of times, as you mentioned, people try to change up, try to be someone else, try to like fit into this box you think you're supposed to be, to fill in what you think you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be acting instead of being yourself. And even with him wanting to be on your music at the time, here you are thinking like, nah, this isn't for you. This is for the ladies. No, but it was enough where it was like, you know what? I want to do this with you. And he didn't have to do that. He didn't owe you anything.
Not at all. Like, girl, I'm so grateful. I think that the chemistry also made that's what made the video so fun, because it was natural. Like, it was our friends in the videos. Those weren't strangers. Like, we knew all those people.
But where was I? You said friends. I wasn't there.
Oh my God. See, next one you got to pull up.
Oh my gosh. Clearly I should be there. No. But for real, and in all seriousness, that's amazing. Again, it's authentic, it's real, it's not fake. You're not bringing in people you're paying and that you're hiring to be in the video. This is like you turn it up with your friends, just like you've done many times with people that you're already cool with. And so in being able to do all of this in such a short time, Did you have that moment, that like pinch me moment of like, this is actually happening? Again, just a year and a half ago, you were pursuing being a dentist with both of your degrees, by the way, pursuing being a dentist. And here you are now having collaborated with Chance the Rapper, who is your brother. That's family, but still, that's major. And that alone, on top of the concert, on top of dropping a whole EP and just doing so many great things. Do you have that pinch me moment ever that you want to share with us?
Girl, when they told me that I had this interview with you, I was having this pinch me moment. So
Stop.
I'm having a pinch me moment right now. It's never stopping.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, because I'm feeling that too. Like we're all out here. I think the best thing is we're all out here working hard to try to continue to grow our careers. So to have these types of moments when somebody is able to even just recognize you for what you're doing, like you're saying you were excited to be on my show. I was excited to have you on my show. So it goes both ways.
Girl, I was from New York. I was just literally in New York. That's what's so crazy. I was like, I need to get back. My flight was delayed. I said, y'all don't understand. I need to get back. I got to go on this show.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So tell us about your EP, because Big Bank, I mean, I guess it definitely ties into a theme. Well, let's take a step back, actually. Who are you as an artist? You know, what do you try to bring? I know through listening to your music, through seeing the videos, you're bringing a vibe. You're bringing upbeat music that people can dance to, have fun to. What is it you try to bring through your music and your lyrics that you're writing, and just the sound of it and everything pieced together?
You guys, okay, don't think I'm crazy, but I always tell people I have multiple personalities. So that's why I feel like I make so much different music. Like I got some hardcore rap on there. I got some R&B. Girl, did you hear me singing? I got some pop music on there. And then, you know, I got that turn up with your girls, turn up with your guy type music. And so I feel like when I make music, it's however I'm feeling at that moment. That's the personality that I'm giving. And Big Bank definitely shows that. Like, I made sure to put something on there for everyone. Like, if you don't like one song, you're gonna like one of these songs on here. But that one song that you like is gonna make you be like, let me get this other music a try again, because that one song gonna have you stuck. Like literally stuck.
And I like that, because now you can tap into different vibes and different emotions. You know, like you have a song for everything, where it's like, all right, we can sit and we can slow it down a little bit. Then we can pick. Actually, yes. It's funny you said that, because I was posting that you were going to be on the show, and I was trying to share one of your songs on my IG story, and I'm like, dang, I don't know which song to put. Do I want to go slow? Do I want to go upbeat? Do I want to go
really?
Like what kind of vibe?
What's your vibe at the time? Like, I know girls are emotional people. Like, we have 17 different emotions. So I want to express every single emotion that I got. That's every side of me. And I'm like, girl, I know what you're going through at this time. And we're going to vibe out together. I'm with you.
Yes. And that's that relatability and that authenticity of like, you're not just out here rapping about just one thing. You can tap into all these different areas where somebody feels like they're singing with you, then they're dancing with you, then they're getting turned up with you
together.
Yes. I love it. So I have to imagine writing music is not easy, especially since, as you mentioned, like it's your own voice. You know, this is you putting pen to paper and writing out kind of how you talk, how you think, how you're feeling. But even the vulnerability that comes with that and piecing it all together, you know, what is your creative process in that sense of really putting together a song from a vision to a song that's now being put together with the sound, the lyrics, and everything else that goes along with it?
Okay, so typically I like to be by myself. I know it sounds crazy, but like I just like to vibe out to myself. Shake that ass. Girl, I wrote that at 2:00 in the morning with my earpods in the bathroom.
What?
I was using the bathroom. And I just heard the beat and I was like I just like to vibe out at home. I can't even say I really write in the studio. Well, I mean, I didn't really used to. Now I've been getting more into freestyle. So I've been going in there and trying to, just spit on the track. But typically I like to write in my house. Like, it's my comfort zone. Like, I feel safe here. I know, like, all of my emotions, I can express all of them. There's no one judging me. And I'll just put my earpods in and I'll turn the beat on, and literally 30 seconds in, if I don't feel a vibe, next beat. But with first 30 seconds, I could tell you if I could vibe out to it. And I'll just be like thinking, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about? How do I feel? Or sometimes I'll tell you this, I'll be in the car and I'll be like, I just want to write something. So I'll turn the beat on and I'll just be sitting there and I'll be trying to freestyle. And I'll be like, dang, I need to pull over. And I'll be with my notepad, like writing this down. I'm like, yeah, this is it. So I'm like, I'm vibing. I'm in the mood. But like, I heard one beat, Don't Tell Nobody. The song on there, it's one of my R&B songs. And I heard the beat and it was really different from anything I had. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to say, don't tell nobody. And I just kept sitting there. I was like, don't. And I'm inserting different words in. And I'm like, what do these girls want to hear? Like, what do they want to feel? I want them to really feel it. I'm like, let me tap into all of my emotions. And that point, I was just trying to be really vulnerable and like tell a girl's story. And I think it's just me expressing myself and me trying to help girls express themselves through my music. And that's just what I think about when I'm writing. Like, I want to be able to tell somebody else's story while I'm telling mine.
First of all, I love that the creative process happens everywhere, because I do feel like the bathroom, I'll be showering, I'll be brushing my teeth, I'll be going to the bathroom, and I'm like, idea. Like, you know, that's what the best ideas really
best
do
time
happen.
to think by yourself.
But as you're saying, again, it's more of, it's like you don't force it. You know, you might have an idea in mind, like you're saying with Don't Tell Nobody, you might have an idea in mind and start to just kind of think through, like, okay, how can I actually bring this into a song? How can I use this? You know, what's the vibe? What's the music like? What's the rhythm? What's the sound like? So that in itself is, I commend, because that sounds like a process of patience, but also of just being able to like be in your thoughts and like stick with it. You know, like being present in the moment of, okay, what am I listening to, and what does this sound like in a song that I can like add a lyric to? Ooh, honey. So, which song are you most proud of? Which is I'm sure it's hard to pick. It's kind of like having multiple kids. You love them all equally, but which are you most proud of that you really feel like this is it? This is the one that's really going to get my name out there a lot more.
So one of my highest new streaming song is Get It, featuring Pronto Spazz Out. He's actually a Chicago artist, and we collabed on the song because he makes what you call jiggy music. And that song, I was feeling real jiggy. So that song, and I was like, I just know it, like, this is the one. I have over 600,000 streams on Spotify alone. It's been out a month, you know. I'm like, this is the one. Like, it's my highest streaming song right now. It's surpassing Shake That Ass, not on total streams, but in like highest streaming right now. It's been going crazy, and I love that girls love it, and I love that guys love it, because it's about getting it. I didn't even say what we getting. Like, you getting the money, you getting the job, you getting something. Just get it. Whatever you want, get it. Like, it's for guys. I had one of my friends is her guy she courted him dancing to it, and he wasn't really dancing to a girl. You know, in the car, guys do they little, you know, like get it. And he actually plays for the Bears. So I'm like, I love that masculine, like really masculine men are loving this song too, because it's like you getting the win. Like, I love that it's not just women listening to it, that it is a song that women are listening to too. So it's really, I'm so proud of it, because it's great. It's great to have a song that women love, but for men to love it too, to be able to cross over, that is what really made me proud.
Aw, I'm proud of you, because I agree. I feel like as a female in any profession, whether it is for you music, for me sports, whatever it may be, you know, you really feel like it hits differently when you have the other side also excited to listen, or like you said, dancing to it, recording videos, getting a hype, because you want to make content that will reach a lot of different people, all different ages, all different backgrounds, all different races, all different genders. So that's special, when you have and like you're saying, like your music also taps into all these different areas. So getting it could be anything, literally anything that you could be talking about: music, a job, the other person, like whatever it is that you want to get it. But you did talk about the success of your streams, and I know Spend It had a lot of success as well. And you also have been featured in different magazines, Flaunt magazine, Rolling Out, all these different magazines. So your music is reaching ears and listeners and viewers, but also your name and your career is reaching audiences in that same way, where people are starting to get to know you as a household name. So as someone that is only a year and a half in the game, you just dropped your first EP. I got to know what's next, because it seems like this, for as much as you have done already and all the success that you've had, that there's so much more that you have planned up your sleeves.
Girl, it's only up from here. Like, I'm trying to be at the awards next year. Not trying to be, look, if I want it, it's mine. Next year, I'll see me at the BET Awards, MTV, like all the festivals. I'm going to be on top. Trust me. New music coming, new videos coming. I'm not stopping at all. People always tell me, like, you came out of nowhere and you just hit the ground running. And I'm not stopping.
I respect it. And as you mentioned, like you really have taken advantage of all this momentum to be able to capitalize on, reaching more people, growing your audience, growing your music. And this is literally just the beginning. So I like that you are speaking it and you're manifesting it already, because you're going to claim it and it's going to happen. And then I'll be able to say, oh, I remember when she was on my show. But also something that you talked about, and I did read this and even see it across your pages, and I've been hearing it in a little bit of what you're saying, is how you're really changing the game. You're trying to change a game, like, of course, in the science industry with your degrees, you plan to change the game, but also in your music, you're trying to change the game for rappers, for female artists. How important is it to you, as you are continuing to hit the ground running, to pull others along with you and be able to inspire the next generation of talented artists like yourself?
You guys, I always stress that you have to reach out to people. Like, some people don't want to reach out to you because they're afraid that you'll be like, oh no. So like, when I hear a song that I like, if it's an artist that is not as known as me, I'll be like, send me a open verse, a version with an open verse. Let me go record to it. And I just like to collaborate. Like, I think it's really important. Like, one of my friends, Jazz, she is actually an R&B singer that is coming up out of Chicago, up and coming artist. Yes. And she just dropped an EP, and her music was so good. And I'm like, girl, like, this is your time. And I'm like, send me an open verse. I want to put you on a song, or I want to get on one of your songs, so that, because, people do look in at me. So I want them to see the other artists that are out here. Like, even it's hard for female rappers. It's hard for the female singers that are out here. Like, it's hard for everybody. And I think that we need to help each other with the struggle. Like, the music industry is hard. And I always make sure that I reach out to girls. I reach out to guys. And I just try to make fun music with them that our city will love.
Yes. And you have to, because as you mentioned, it is hard. And nobody should have to deal with the struggle by themselves of trying to figure out, who you can trust and who you can turn to it for advice, and figure out your way through it. Because as you have seen, and I'm sure you've had a number of experiences of your own and stories and things that you've learned, it doesn't happen overnight. There's no playbook. There's nobody telling you, like, oh, just do this, and this, and then it'll all work out. Like, there's a lot of setbacks and having to pivot and having to adjust. So what is your advice for that young aspiring artist, rapper, singer, male, female, regardless of what they look like or who they are, that's really trying to pursue a career in music?
Honestly, don't quit. Like, don't quit. Don't allow them to box you in. If you feel like you make a different type of music than what is popular or what's hot, be yourself, like make what you want. You can, what do you say, commercialize your music if you choose, but also put the music out there that's you too, because you never know what's gonna happen. That's why I say, like, a lot of people just categorize me as a rapper, and I always tell them, like, no, I'm an artist. I make pop music. I make hardcore rap music. I make R&B music. I make what I want. I'm me all the time. So be yourself, because that's what's going to make people like you, because being yourself is better than pretending to be anybody else, trying to mold yourself to be another artist or artist that's hot. And you just really never have, like, you can never quit. That's the biggest thing. Don't quit. I don't care how hard it gets. Life is hard. Do not quit.
Well,
reach out for help. Like, I know some people are scared to ask other artists or other people, like, producers and stuff, for help. I would just reach out and be like, hey, I'm an up-and-coming artist for Chicago. I'm not going to lie. I was one of those girls that was DMing the DJs, like, can I send you my music? Can you play it in the club? Like, I'm a new artist. I'm going to be honest. Like, you got to be hungry. You cannot be shy. You have to go get it, literally. Nobody's going to give you nothing. You have to go get it. You can't be afraid to be embarrassed. Everyone's embarrassed. That's why we act like this.
Absolutely. We're all embarrassed. We've all, look, I was the same way.
I'm a fool.
First of all, you have to be able to laugh at yourself too. That's part of it. That's part of like what makes it easier, is you have to understand, like, I have definitely had moments where I reached out to somebody, said the wrong, like slid into somebody's DM because I was trying to network with them and connect with them, said something wrong or incorrect or had a typo where I really should not have. And I'm like, oh, dang, this person probably thinks I'm a fool, but we're human. So you have to try, like, you've got to try to make those connections. And I love what you're saying about not quitting, because I agree. Life is hard. Nothing that we want that's worth it ever comes easy. So if you want a career bad enough, you can't expect it to just happen overnight just because you say so. It's going to take time. It's going to take trials and tribulations and setbacks and successes too. All the good, bad, and everything in between. But you have to just keep going. But I know, as we're talking about all the success in your career, the core of who you are, as you've been talking about, is just being able to rep Chicago. But there's two parts I definitely am curious about before we wrap up. Where does Baha Banks come from?
So literally, I've always been called Baha. Like, in high school, I'm writing Baha on all my homework, everything. The name actually came from my stepfather. It's Arabic. It means splendor and brilliance. So a lot of people, I had a run-in with, I had a cheerleading coach when I was in high school. And I was like, yeah, my name is Baha. She was like, why are you named after a taco? I was like, girl. I'm like, actually, I had to correct her. I'm like, actually, that's a J, which means short, sweetheart. Mine is H, which means splendor and brilliance. Yes. And I used to have Baha Bolden on everything. Bolden is my real last name. And I was out one night, and King Louis, the rapper, he found out that my name was Vivian Bolden. And so he would be like, okay, I'm going to call you Miss Banks, Vivian Banks. And I was like, hold on, Baha Banks. And I was like, once I started rapping, because I still had Baha, I was still Baha Bolden. But then when I started rapping, I'm like, what am I going to call myself? Like, what am I going to be? And I'm like, that's it, Baha Banks. And so I always tell them, like, you help me with this name. And it just, people are like, it's so fitting of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. First of all, I love that story, because so Vivian Bolden is your official government name, I guess?
That is my government name, yes.
But the way that it just kind of went, again, everything just happens in odd ways, the way it's supposed to happen, because Baha Banks definitely rolls, especially with the $ in there for the S.
Yes.
That definitely rolls. But if you were to try to introduce yourself, and not that there's anything wrong with this, but either as Vivian or Baha Bolden, the artist, it just doesn't have the same like smoothness to it.
Exactly.
So when you walk in and you're like, I'm Baha Banks, and then you turn around and you make Big Bank, okay, now we're going somewhere.
That's my alter ego.
Yes, Sasha Fierce, Baha Banks.
Yes.
I get it. I'm with
It's
you.
one of my
that.
personalities.
So, last thing I definitely want to get into before we wrap up is at the core of who you are in terms of Vivian Bolden, aka Baha Banks, a mother, someone that has 2 degrees. What is it that you really are striving to do as you talk about all these different hats you wear, the different personalities, as you say, but the different hats you wear of who you are? What really connects all of this that you want to make sure everybody that you connect with, whether it's an interview, hearing your songs, seeing your music video, seeing how you're changing the game in biology and in being a dentist and your future projects. What is it that is the core of Baha?
Oh, your camera just froze, babe. I can't hear you. It's starting to come back in. Your screen is Oh, you're.
Oh no.
Can you see me fine? Honestly, before anything, I'm a mother. I love my daughter with all of my heart. And I don't think I would even be this artist and if it wasn't for her. Like, I don't think that I would have this drive and this push to be the best that I can be if it wasn't for her, because I just want to make her proud. Like, literally, if you'll play, my friend will play a song and she'll be like, that's my mommy's song. She's so proud of me, and it just makes me feel so good. Aww. And it's literally like, she is my heart. Like, she is the core of me. She is what pushes me to be Baha Banks and be who I am. She decided she wanted to be a singer a couple months ago. So she takes voice lessons with piano lessons now because I'm supporting her dreams. I want to help her be the best that she can be and be whoever she wants to be. And I feel like if I'm me, I can do anything, and so can she.
Oh, so a Black queen raising another queen. I love that.
Yes, girl, she's a performer. She will go and put on a show, do the whole dance, everything. She'll be like, watch me.
How old is she?
She's 4.
Oh, so her personality is really forming right now.
Oh,
she's fully.
She's
you can't
hilarious.
tell her anything at this age.
She's a queen, baby. A little queen.
Well, unfortunately, it has started storming here, which is definitely why my internet cut out, because I definitely had a little flicker going. So we're going to wrap up anyways. It's right on time. The internet is not, or the storm is not going to slow us down. So where can people follow you, Baha Banks, to keep up with all the great things you've got going on and plug and promo anything else that you're working on?
Okay, you guys, you can follow me at BahaBanks on all social networks. And to stream my music, of course, it is BahaBank $, because we getting money over here. I actually do have a show coming up. I am performing at Illinois Radio Show on the 8th at the Promontory. So make sure y'all come out and listen. It's me. It's some other artists from the city. Like, it's a showcase to really give the artists the attention that they need. It's free. So anyone can come. It's all ages. Starts at 7:00, you guys. That is the 8th. November 8th.
People can watch that from outside?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. But if you want to check out Illinois Radio's Instagram, I'm pretty sure that they're going to either put it on a live or something or post it, because they're really good with that. They're actually really big in my career. Love them. I got a song with Casanova because I did an interview with them as a new artist. And I said that my career started because of the Casanova challenge. And he seen it on Twitter, on their Twitter. And he DM'd me and was like, if this is true, I need a feature. So I love Illinois radio. They're really big on helping new up and coming artists. So shout out to them. Yes.
Okay. So only going up from here. Only going up from here. And like you said, BET Awards, any awards show, you'll be there next year. So I'm excited to see what's next for you. Everywhere. I'm excited to see as you continue to grow. And I definitely wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget about us, little people, when you get there. Okay.
No, Renee, how can I? What? We're friends. Remember, next video.
If nothing else. Next video, I'm going to be in there, y'all.
Next video.
All right. Count me in. I'll be there. Don't worry. If sports doesn't work out for me, I'm going to just, have to come join in with you. Okay? But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you taking time to join us on Beyond the Headlines to talk about your music, your career, and all the exciting things that you've been able to accomplish and the great things you have coming up in the future.
No, thank you so much, Renee, for having me. I really, really appreciate the support. Thank you for uplifting me as a Black queen.
Aw,
thank you. I really appreciate it because it's hard for women. And you allowing me to come on this platform and tell my story, I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, of course, that's what we're here for. We lift each other up. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. So, guys, definitely be sure to tune in. We've got all of her handles. Baha Banks, Queen of Chicago, doing incredible things. And honestly, when you check out her music, you will know exactly why she is the Queen of Chicago. She does it all. And as you heard, her journey did not even start just in music, but she made the leap of faith to pursue what she loves, and it is paying off in a very big way. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. Yes, my girl Venora chiming in, saying yes, Black queens. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, be sure to follow us across all streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, we're bringing you a new episode live each and every week. So before this storm tries to kick me out for good, thank you guys. Stay blessed. Continue to chase your dreams. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines.